You're not broken. The dopamine poverty diagnosis. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined. You're running a protective threat response that looks like procrastination from the outside and feels like dread from the inside. After enough unrewarded effort, your brain updates its math. Reward prediction error, the signal that says this paid more or less than expected, starts to collapse. Without that error signal, you stop getting the phasic dopamine bursts that pull you into action. Tasks go flat. Starts feel heavy. Finishes feel muted. Your brain concludes, rationally, that pushing harder is a bad bet. Here's the loop that trains this. Effort leads to no reward, which leads to shame, which leads to avoidance, which deepens dopamine poverty, which makes the next start even harder. Hustle shame pours fuel on the fire. Every "you should be able to do this" message tags the task with danger. Your amygdala turns up vigilance. The locus coeruleus pushes norepinephrine noise. Your prefrontal cortex loses fine control. That isn't a moral failure. It's an overloaded system. Neuro-wise, 3 things are happening. First, phasic dopamine is blunted. Those short spikes that encode "this mattered," repeat, shrink under chronic stress and repeated negative prediction errors. Second, the alarm network is loud. Amygdala on locus coeruleus chattering, so your body perceives challenge as threat. Third, perceived exertion rises. Even medium tasks feel like uphill work because your baseline arousal is miscalibrated. High achievers often mask this with grit. They white-knuckle through and call it discipline, but costs show up later. Ambition shrinkage, identity drift, narrower challenge bandwidth. You pitch fewer bold ideas. You design goals to avoid feeling like a failure. You ask less of yourself not because you want less, but because your brain is protecting you from prediction errors it expects will sting. Let's challenge a popular belief. Faster pacing fixes motivation. I've analyzed real-world retention graphs and focus blocks across creators and operators. When the system is overloaded, speed amplifies fatigue. Safety precedes throughput. When the vagal brake is on, your cortex can invest without frying your alertness system. Fueling is not optional. Dopamine is synthesized from L-Tyrosine, found in protein. Low protein, low sodium, low hydration equals dirty signals and low drive. Add sodium and water, get 25 to 40 grams of protein early, and you restore the raw materials and conduction. That doesn't solve everything, but it lifts the floor. There's an invisible tax called open loops. Zeigarnik Effect shows that unfinished tasks hold tension in working memory. If you go to bed with a head full of "don't forget," your nervous system sleeps on guard. You wake taxed, not restored. That isn't weakness. That's a system doing loss prevention too well. So if you're resisting, it's because your brain learned that the cost of starting is high and the odds of payoff are low. If it learned that, it can unlearn it. The fix is not heroic willpower. The fix is to rebuild how your brain prices effort and reward in the right order. We use 3 levers sequenced: safety, autonomy, competence. Safety quiets the alarm and returns prefrontal control. Autonomy restores agency, shifting from "I have to" "I choose to" because, which raises tonic dopamine, the background readiness to engage. Competence delivers right-sized wins that your brain can predict and cache, producing clean, positive prediction errors that say, "That worked, repeat." Order matters more than ingredients. Chase big wins while unsafe and your brain files the attempt under threat. Restore safety but keep "I have to," and coercion chokes motivation. Add choice without proof and you get hope without traction. Safety, then autonomy, then competence, SAC, is the sequence that heals. Here's the encouraging part. One small loop, run correctly, safe body, chosen task, right-sized success, can start reversing dopamine poverty fast. Add a 30-second interoceptive pause to notice the reward in your body, and you're writing a new association. Start right arrow, finish right arrow, payoff. Do that a handful of times and your system starts paying you first, not last. What about quick state tools? They fit under safety. Extended exhales engage the vagal brake. Cold face splash triggers the mammalian dive reflex through trigeminal receptors and slows locus coeruleus firing. Sunlight anchors circadian arousal. Electrolytes clean up conduction. Protein supplies L-Tyrosine. None of these are hacks in isolation. Together, they say, safe, resourced, chosen, likely to win. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. Treating state shifts as rewards to earn. Their fuel, use them up front. 2. Inflating competence targets to prove you're back. Negative prediction errors will undo your gains. 3. Using autonomy language while scolding yourself. Your body hears the coercion and freezes. When this diagnosis clicks, blame drops and precision rises. You stop moralizing energy dips and start adjusting inputs. You stop sprinting on fumes and start sequencing moves that teach your brain, effort pays here. That is the exit from the dopamine poverty trap and the start of reclaiming professional ambition without burning the system that has to carry you. 3 levers: autonomy, competence, safety, ACS. Here's the scaffold that turns biology into momentum. Autonomy, competence, safety. These aren't slogans. They are mechanical inputs that change dopamine tone, lower threat, and make reward prediction error fire in your favor again. We apply them together, but each lever does different work in your nervous system, and the wording you use matters. Start with autonomy. Autonomy is the moment your brain hears, "I choose to because," and upgrades the task from external control to self-authorship. That tiny language shift raises tonic dopamine, the background readiness signal. Coercion suppresses it, choice lifts it. So you replace "I have to send this proposal" with "I choose to send this proposal because it funds the work I care about." Keep it honest, concrete, and said out loud. Your striatum is running prediction math. It needs a reason that your body can believe, not a pep talk. But choice without right-sized proof stalls. That's competence. Competence is not being great. It is designing conditions where success is likely and obvious. Aim for an 80% success probability. This sits in the sweet spot for dopamine learning, frequent positive prediction errors that say, "That worked, do it again." You shrink scope until wins are bankable. Title plus 3 bullets, not the whole deck. 1 outreach, not 10. Then, after each micro finish, you take 30 seconds to notice the somatic reward: easier breath, warmer chest, softer jaw. That interoceptive pause is the right command for start right arrow, finish right arrow payoff. Safety is the gate that lets autonomy and competence land. If your alarm is loud, your cortex loses leverage and effort codes as threat. Safety inputs turn the alarm down quickly. Extended exhales engage the vagal brake, shifting you parasympathetic. A cold face splash triggers the mammalian dive reflex through trigeminal receptors, slowing heart rate and quieting locus coeruleus norepinephrine noise so steering returns. Sunlight anchors circadian arousal. Sodium and water stabilize conduction. 25 to 40 grams of protein supply L-Tyrosine for dopamine synthesis. These are not nice-to-haves, they are the floor. Now people ask, why not ACS in that order? Good catch. The levers are defined as autonomy, competence, safety, but we run them in the sequence that heals. Safety first, then autonomy, then competence. Safety earns access. Autonomy sets expected value. Competence delivers proof. If you flip them, you train threat, not trust. Let me show you the interaction. Safety stabilizes tonic arousal so you perceive options instead of alarms. Autonomy restores agency and tells your predictive system, "My energy will not be wasted." Competence delivers a clean win your brain can cache immediately. That win creates a positive prediction error, which sharpens phasic dopamine and makes the next start cheaper. Rinse and repeat, and the anti-reward program loses ground. Micro-story fast, Jenna wanted to rebuild writing after a rough quarter. For months, the blank page felt punishing. She forced herself and burned out in 10 minutes, then spiraled. We flipped to ACS mechanics sequenced. Safety, 6 rounds of 4 in, 8 out breathing plus a 5-second cold face splash, then a sip of salted water. Autonomy, I choose to write 1 ugly paragraph because publishing protects my Friday. Competence, 5-minute timer, title plus 3 bullets only. She ended while winning, took a 30-second body check, breath down, jaw softer, and logged it. Day 1, 5 minutes without dread. Day 5, 8 to 10 minutes, same ease. Day 10, finished article, no crash, same person, different levers. Common mistakes to avoid. 1. Using autonomy language as a mask for pressure. If your inner line is "I choose to because I should," your body hears coercion and freezes. Strip the should. Find a reason you endorse, even if it's modest. I choose to open the dock because I prefer a clear desk. 2. Oversizing competence targets to prove you are back. Misses create negative prediction errors that push avoidance. Keep the win rate high. 3. Skipping safety because you feel behind. Urgency is the alarm. Answer it first, or you'll encode the task as threat. Here's a compact ACS checklist you can run before any block. Safety, exhale 6 rounds, cold face splash, sip salted water, protein handled. Autonomy, say one true I choose to because, out loud. Competence, define a 5-minute action with an 80% success rate. End while winning, take a 30-second somatic check log. When these pieces click, starts feel lighter, attention steadier, and reward shows up faster. That's not luck. That's repaired prediction. Sequence that heals. Safety, right arrow, autonomy, right arrow, competence. Order is the difference between fighting yourself and being carried by your own biology. An unsafe system treats any challenge like a threat, so we start by turning the alarm down. Then we restore agency with clean choosing. Only then do we land a right-sized win your brain can bank. Run this sequence tightly, and you'll feel starts get lighter, focus steadier, and the afterglow show up faster. Begin with safety. Give your nervous system cues it recognizes as low threat. 2 to 3 minutes is enough. Do 6 rounds of 4-second inhale, 8-second exhale to engage the vagal brake, the parasympathetic downshift that tells your body safe now. Splash cold water on your face for 5 to 10 seconds to trigger the mammalian dive reflex through trigeminal receptors. Heart rate slows, blood shifts centrally, and locus coeruleus norepinephrine noise drops so prefrontal control returns. Add a light cue, 2 to 5 minutes of daylight, to stabilize circadian arousal. Sip water with a pinch of salt to support conduction, and make sure you've had 25 to 40 grams of protein within the last few hours so L-Tyrosine is available for dopamine synthesis. If you feel edgy, add a 30-second forward fold with firm palm pressure on your upper arms to deliver interoceptive containment. You're not chasing relaxation, you're creating steerable alertness. Now layer autonomy. Swap I have to for I choose to because, and tie it to a reason you endorse. Say it out loud. Keep it specific and credible. I choose to outline 3 bullets because it buys my Friday. This isn't positive thinking, it's prediction math. Your striatum updates expected value when it detects self-authorship instead of coercion. If the line feels fake, shrink it until it's true. I choose to open the doc because I want a clean desk. Credibility beats volume. One clean autonomy line raises tonic dopamine, the background readiness to engage, so your system expects that effort will not be wasted. Then calibrate competence. Define a 5 to 10 minute action with roughly an 80% chance of success. Shrink scope until that's real. Title plus 3 bullets. Rename the file and drop 1 reference. Send 1 outreach using a saved template and personalize 1 line. Start a short timer and end while winning. The end while winning rule protects positive prediction errors, small surprises that the effort paid more than expected, which sharpen phasic dopamine and make the next start cheaper. When you stop, take a 30-second somatic check. Notice 3 body signals of reward: easier breath, warmer chest, softer jaw, less forehead pressure. Name them out loud. Then log the win within 60 seconds. Task, time, payoff felt. That low latency log is the right command that encodes start right arrow, finish right arrow, payoff. Put it together in a simple run you can do today. Safety. 6 rounds 4 in, 8 out, cold face splash, daylight, sip salted water, confirm protein. Autonomy. I choose to draft 3 bullets because it protects my afternoon. Competence. 5-minute action, end while winning, 30-second body check log. If friction spikes, extend safety before you escalate. Repeat the exhale cycle, add a 60 to 90-second brisk walk in daylight, or run 1 round of breath hold walking. Exhale, hold 10 to 20 steps, then breathe normally for a minute to lift alertness without jitter. Then restate a smaller, truer autonomy line and redefine the action to keep the win probability near 80%. We're defending prediction, not proving grit. Guardrails keep the gains, cap daily stretch. 1 or 2 competence wins stacked cleanly beat a binge followed by a crash. Avoid threat stacking. Do not combine low sleep, fasting, and a high-stakes start and then call it discipline. If I choose to sounds like pressure, you're smuggling and should. Strip it. Find a reason you can stand behind, even if it's modest. If success rate dips below 80%, you scaled too fast. Shrink scope and reestablish wins. Micro story for timing. Daniel dreaded client outreach. Safety first. Exhale set, 5-second cold splash, 2 minutes in daylight, sip electrolytes. Autonomy. I choose to send 1 message because future me wants options. Competence. 1 template, 1 personalized line send. He paused for the 30-second somatic check, breath down, shoulders softer, and logged it. Day 3, he sent 3 notes without a spike-in crash. Same task, different order. Run this sequence as reps, not heroics. As positive prediction errors accumulate, tonic dopamine rises, phasic spikes sharpen, and your system stops treating effort like a gamble. That's the moment ambition feels like an option again. Minimum Viable Momentum, MVM. Minimum Viable Momentum is a 5-move loop that rebuilds trust with effort in under 7 minutes. It's not a productivity hack, it's a nervous system contract that makes prediction errors tilt positive again. The loop is simple: orient, choose, start, notice, log. Each move has a job. Each one protects safety, lifts autonomy, and lands competence without tripping the alarm. Orient shrinks uncertainty so the amygdala doesn't inflate cost. Give yourself 30 seconds to name the next visible action, not the whole project. 1 email subject line. Title plus 3 bullets. Rename a file and drop a placeholder. When the action is specific and concrete, your brain stops scanning for danger and starts preparing to move. Choose is your autonomy line. 1 sentence out loud. I choose to micro-action because reason you endorse. Keep it blunt and honest. I choose to write the title and 3 bullets because it buys my Friday. Self-authorship lifts tonic dopamine, the background readiness signal, so your system expects engagement to be worth it. If that line feels fake, you define the action too big. Shrink it until the sentence rings true. Start uses the 5-30 rule: 5 minutes of doing, 30 seconds of noticing. 5 minutes is long enough to produce a micro-win and a positive prediction error, short enough to slide under your threat threshold. The goal is to end while winning, not to prove capacity. When your brain gets that paid more than expected, phasic dopamine sharpens, and the next start gets cheaper. If you finish sooner, stop there. Ending strong trains better than grinding. Notice is non-negotiable. Take 30 seconds to scan for 3 body-level signals that the effort paid. An easier breath, warmth in the chest, less jaw tension, a slight drop in forehead pressure. Name them out loud. That interoceptive pause is the right command that encodes start right arrow, finish right arrow, payoff. Skip this and you did work without updating the model that governs motivation. Log within 60 seconds. 1 line, task, time, and the body payoff you felt. Titled deck and wrote 3 bullets, breath dropped, chest warmer. Low latency logging is how you stack credible proof. Your nervous system learns from recent, specific, embodied signals, not from vague weekly summaries. Now let's fit MVM inside the sequence you've learned. Safety precedes the loop. Run 6 rounds of 4 in, 8 out breathing, do a 5 to 10 second cold face splash, and sip water with a pinch of salt. If it's early, make sure you've had 25 to 40 grams of protein so L-Tyrosine is available for dopamine synthesis. Then orient, choose, start, notice, log. You're layering the exact biology that reduces threat and supplies fuel, then landing a right-sized win your brain can bank. Common friction points and clean fixes. If you keep drifting before you start, your orient step is abstract. Rephrase it until you can see your hand doing it. If the 5-minute action regularly spills to 15, you define the win too big. Shrink scope until your success probability is roughly 80%. If your body stays tense after the win, extend safety next round and add a 2-minute daylight walk or a single breath hold loop. Exhale, hold 10 to 20 steps, then breathe normally to reset arousal without spikes. Your metric isn't volume, it's streak integrity. 1 MVM per day beats a binge day followed by silence. Streaks teach reliability, and reliability restores reward prediction error. Protect the streak with anchors. A sticky note on your monitor that says, orient right arrow, choose right arrow, start right arrow, notice right arrow, log. A desk-side electrolyte vial. A sink that means cold splash. A doorway that means breath hold steps before you re-enter work. Micro story for texture. Founder Rebuilding Outreach wrote 5 MVM actions on a card. Open CRM, filter today's 5, paste intro, personalize 1 line, send 1 note. Safety first, exhales, cold splash, salted water. Autonomy line, I choose to send 1 note because optionality matters. 5-minute timer. 1 send, 30-second body scan, jaw softer, breath down, log within a minute. Day 1, 1 send. Day 4, 3 sends in 10 minutes, still ending while winning. Replies arrived on day 6, but the real payoff landed earlier. Cheaper starts, no spike in crash, and a steady identity shift from effort-resistant to reward-seeking. 2 upgrades when you're stable. Preload orientation with a micro-actions per project list so you never stare at a blank. Add a tiny variable reward after the 30-second notice, 2 minutes of sunlight, a quick stretch, or one favorite song. Keep it small and embodied so it pairs with interruption and avoids cheap dopamine. A brief belief check. You might think 5 minutes is too trivial to matter. In depleted systems, small, frequent, embodied wins outcompete occasional big ones because they retrain prediction without threat. This is the Netflix principle applied to work. Short episodes, clean cliffhangers, consistent payoff. Run 1 MVM now, 30 seconds to orient. 1 clean autonomy line, 5 minutes of doing, 30 seconds of noticing. Log within 60 seconds. End while winning. That's minimum viable momentum doing its job, quietly rebuilding the link between effort and reward, Dopamine so drain, ambition feels like a
micro-resets
choice
that
again.
refill.